Well, Trinidad and Tobago has 15 gospel artists who have been nominated for Prayze Factor Awards to be held in Atlanta, Georgia. A number of other artists from the Caribbean have also been nominated, and the awards are set for September 5th through the 19th. But there's a factor: sponsorship. I'm joined by Keith Rule and Public Relations Consultant Island IT girl, Shadi Jones. How are you all?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Doing good. Glad to be
It's
here.
a pleasure to have you on this morning, especially we're talking about raising funds for a very good cause. Tell us about Prayze Factor, Sue.
Yes, Prayze Factor. This is season 10 of the Prayze Factor People's Choice Awards. It's an award show based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And they focus on independent artists, which is a part of what makes it unique, as it focuses on development and beyond the actual award show, conducting a 3-month tour the following summer for the finalists. So you don't even have to win an award in order to benefit from making it to the finals of this award show. So we have 14 artists representing Trinidad and Tobago alone who have made it to the finals of this award show.
So tell us a little bit, Ms. Jones, about the artists themselves. Some of the names, we might be familiar with some of them. Tell us about
Yes, you
them.
actually might be. First of all, let me start by saying good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, all the glory, all the honor belongs to God, because without him, we would definitely not be here. So, of course, let's take 2 seconds and love up my Jesus. Y'all know I love to do that. And it's Island It Girl. Everybody says IT.
IT.
I need to fix that. But some of the artists, so we had 15 artists that we originally nominated. Out of our 15 from Trinidad and Tobago, we had 14 that were successful. We have artists like Adana Chedi, Axia Nation
Adana.
featuring Shalane, Jolanda Phillips, Mark Isaacs, Mikhail, Nathaniel, Shizlan, Ansa, Carlos Izama, Karma Ramsey, Marvin Driggs mentioned, Mr. Royal Lynch, and of course, Terrence Andrews.
That's really great. I actually know Adana Chedi. She
Oh,
was a
you
student
do?
at the Open Bible High School.
Yes, she
She's
was.
Very, very talented.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
So tell us about what it is you need. What is required?
So essentially, we have had about 3 churches that have jumped on board to really support the vision of what we're doing, which is not just promoting Trinidad and Tobago, but it's spreading the gospel. So the Lord said to go, so we're going. Essentially, this is a mission trip, as it were. So we have my youth pastor, shout out to the First Church of the Open Bible, Pastor Luke Quamina and Pastor David Charles. We have Pastor Keith Israel of Breaking the Silence, Deliverance and Healing in Diego Martin, as well as Pastor Jason Bechu of Faith Assembly, who've also endorsed what we're doing. So it's 250,000 TT in total for the entire contingent. So we're asking the nation, the business community, as the Lord places it on your heart, you can sow into our ministries, and of course the artist ministries. We have First Church of the Open Bible in South and Breaking the Silence in Diego Martin, and as well as Faith Assembly as drop-off points for those who would like to sow or donate to what we're doing. Again, it's 250,000 TT. This is not about, one facet of the industry representing Trinidad. This is ours. This is our home. This is national pride, and it's history for us as well as the U.S. because it's the first time they've had such a strong contingent
From the Caribbean.
From the
14
Caribbean.
from Trinidad.
14
right.
from Trinidad, correct.
Tobago.
Yeah, that's from
And-
Trinidad and Tobago
Yeah,
alone.
alone.
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
extra. We have 5
Yeah.
additional from the region.
Bahamas,
Wow.
Barbados.
So it's not just Trinidad.
So it
Yeah.
is a historic event.
Yes, it
St.
is.
Martin.
Yeah. And it's a tremendous opportunity. Tell us about what this really means for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, right up the top, look at Mark Isaacs, okay? He has a soca song that's nominated for Pop Song of the Year at a U.S. award show. We have not been able to identify any artist who has done a soca song that's been nominated in the pop category of a U.S. award show across the U.S. Even throughout the voting process, that up until this point, the music of Trinidad and Tobago in terms of soca, alternate genres, reggae, even artists like Nathaniel who were nominated for rock artist of the year. It's truly it's humbling. It's really mind blowing to think that there are so many artists who are being considered not only in a small international category, but they went head to head against major US competition, hundreds of artists, and just to make it to the finals is a tremendous accomplishment so far.
Let's talk about the preparation process. How did you all arrive at these 14, and what would have gone into selecting?
Now, that's where it gets really interesting because it's a voting process. So round one, it's wide open. You can vote as many times as you want.
Who votes? People in Trinidad, people in churches?
The public,
the world,
the public around the world. They register over 1.5 million votes, yeah, in total.
Wow. And 14 of our people plus 5, which is
that's correct.
1.5, we beat out 1.5 million votes. Indeed, we did.
Out of 1.5, yeah, out of the grand total, yeah.
So where were they able to vote? Is that something done online via text?
Yes.
How did it happen, and when did it start? When did the selection process actually begin?
It was about a month and a half process in terms of round one, which is the voting process. It took place on the website for the award show, which is praizefactorawards.com, and there's no limitation. So if you wanted to sit there for 5 hours and vote continuously, you could. So coming from a smaller nation and from a smaller region to compete against folks who literally have access to hundreds of millions of people. The pride and support of the people of Trinidad and Tobago was evident. I mean, they had many churches and youth groups who just love artists, and they just rallied and they ordered pizza and they went hard. So yeah, it's a phenomenal accomplishment.
Ms. Shari, was it that they would submit clips of the persons and their performances?
So
how
did we select the 14 or 15 artists? So that's a very interesting story. So this started we're in August, let's say approximately 3 months ago. That would take us back to April at the open house event that Faith Assembly usually throws every 2 years. So it would have been that we were at open house, and while at the event, we did a bit of upselling, cross-marketing, of course, because that's the business we're in. And for us, interviewing artists in terms of, let's see how best we can come on board and how KLR management can be of assistance to you to get you from whatever point your starting point is to an entire full holistic product. Because it's not just about, oh, well, I just have a few songs, or I have an EP, or I have an album, and I'm trying to get radio play on one of the 3 gospel stations. It is, listen, we're going to package you. We're going to brand you. We're going to bring you to the point of an international repertoire that's viable in any area of the world. So that's basically what it was when we initially started out, and we had meetings with artists. And I'm speaking about having meetings in a room that is a quarter of this set, and we're on beds on double deckers, and we're sitting with artists with our notebook and pens. Like, okay, so what do you need? What is your timeline? You want to do an EP? You want to have an album? Okay, that is what this started as. So essentially, it would have started looking like, well, this is the Messiah. True, you came to save us. All right, no problem. And then now we're at Galilee. He on the cross, he died, and he's risen. So it started looking like, well, it may not amount to much, And then when it started to get rolling, it's like, oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the criteria a little bit as well. Let's talk about their spiritual walk. Is it that all persons are Christians who would be representing?
So this is correct, is right. This is fully gospel industry, of course. So we know that the secular industry in Trinidad and Tobago is thriving. It is noticed. It's recognized. Soca is basically, you could close your eyes, you wake up, you hear it. What a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago don't know is that the gospel industry has a very, very strong contingent. The gospel fraternity, however you'd like to phrase it. And it's just as viable. It's just as lucrative. It's just as strong.
In fact, I'll take it a step further with that, Shari. Trinidad and Tobago is the largest producer of gospel music in the Caribbean right now. That used to be Jamaica not very long ago. So for work with the Caribbean Gospel Music Wallet Awards over the years, we've really seen not just incredible artists, but labels, producers. It's a cottage industry that's supporting maybe 5 or 6 artists at a time, and you're talking about a dozen and a half different production companies, several dozen recording studios, support from media platforms like yourself. It's really blowing up, and it's just incredible, the diversity and the volume of music that's coming out here on an annual basis. And I also have a music distribution deal in the US. It's a small one, about 500 stores, but they're blown away by the music. Soca music is listed as a genre that's trackable in the US Christian retail market through our distribution agreement. But when I would send them an album, for example, of a Nigel Lewis, for example, they would be like, okay, Keith, how do we classify this? And I would be like, well, this is soca, but this is also praise and worship, you know? So that's one of the things that we're really excited to see, that based upon the content of the music, that determines whether the relationship is horizontal or it's vertical, you know, whether it's relational this way or relational that way. And the classification of the music, not so tightly defined by traditional genres, because so much of music is fusion nowadays.
Yes.
You know, you hear a little hip hop here, you know, you hear a little reggae, you hear a little soca. It's fusion is so much a part of music these days that we just want to give them an opportunity to reach as many people as possible with their ministries.
Well, it's a pleasure having you on this morning, and we really hope that the calls come in and the support is there.